Hello everybody, and this is Lunaris Elrod, and now I'm going to talk a bit about Bang Dream Season 2, or some people prefer to call it Bandori, and I'm fine with either way. First of all, I have watched the first season when it first came out, and I really enjoyed it. I think it is an essential club anime. It is a very good example of club anime where there is nothing really special about the storyline and how the story progresses, but how it is executed was really good, and it should even though it is a very typical story, it ends up pretty good in my place because how the story is executed. And this is what I said when I said many times before that you don't really need to have a unique gimmick or some kind of special gimmick, to make a good story. You can use the most cliche and the most tropey way of storytelling of a genre, and you still can have a very enjoyable story where you really enjoy the characters develop and how the story progresses and how they reach the ending, how it is concluded. And Bandori season 1 was really good. I really enjoyed it, especially if you like something like Love Life and a bunch of your typical club anime. So for season 2, it's a sequel, but I don't really think that you should call it a sequel because it's more like a alternate universe, something like that. Anyways, the game is pretty popular, and I played a bit, but my iPad cannot stand the graphic requirement of the game, so it's kind of it's a little unfortunate. I really enjoyed the tapping style because I played the School Idol Festival for so long, and I enjoyed the different in how you flick the notes in Bandori. So it kind of sucks that I don't know. So what I'm saying is that I went into this anime without actually know much about the other teams and the other bands and the other characters, and I fully know before going into this that there are lots of other bands and other characters. There are Afterglow, Pastel Palette, Happy Trick, Happy Party Times, Happy something I forgot, and then there's a Rosalia. And what I should want to people who is gonna watch season 2 after watching season 1 is that season 2 is more like that's why I don't want to say it's a sequel. It's because it's more like a spiritual sequel. Because it focuses more on everyone. Yes, every single band has their own focus and limelight, even though Popping Party, the main characters from the season 1, is still, you can arguably say that they are still the protagonists in season 2, but the nature of the anime changes. It tries to balance every other characters. We are talking about 5 characters per band, so that's like 20 characters now, and they are still trying to put in at least one music scene every episode. So it's a bit of a tall order. When I see episode 1, I was impressed, and then when I watch later episodes, I am still very impressed that they still managed to make good band scene. The band scene is really good, and the songs are pretty good. The songs are really good, especially I really like Rosalia. Rosalia is very very tunibio and very edgy, but they are still their songs are still very very good to listen to. First, let's talk about the art first. Bandori season 2 is 3D CG anime. Yes, it's a full 3D CG. Not fully 3D CG anime because some mob characters are still drawn manually, but most of the main characters are 3D CG, and it looks good. The details are the details of their clothes and their hair are pretty detailed. Detailed. Man, I am at loss of words today. This is why I'm doing this. I'm trying to improve my grammar and vocabulary and speech and stuff. the the 3D CG is pretty good, and the characters are able to emote well, especially that the studio is able to master of trying to put different eyes, different cartoon eyes when they are shocked, when they are gloomy, you know. For me, there is no problem in that as aspect, especially that season one itself, art wise, is not that anything particular. It's pretty normal. But season two, by using 3D CG models, they managed to retain the level of details that you cannot realistically do in normal animation. I love especially most of the characters' hair, and the colors the colors are produced well and visually appealing. It is not, some movement might be a little sluggish, but it is much better than some 3D CG anime basic MMD style model. That is, you can really see that their movement is pretty sloppy. So art wise, I think it's okay. I think it's really good. The reason why this kind of anime has a, I think the reason why they make 3D CG anime is because music scenes are pretty expensive to animate, to draw, you know. So by using 3D CG, they can make good, actually really good band scene, and I really love it without having to characters suddenly transition between 2D to 3D models during band scene, you know. So about the story, if you watch season 1, you see that their main conflict is already over. That's why when I heard of season 2, I was a little skeptical, because what is the story going to be? I'm glad that they actually focus on trying to show various other teams, because I if you look at the fandom, especially from the game, and if you look at the fan arts and the dojins, other teams has lots of fans as well. People really like some pastel palette, some Roselia, some Afterglow. I think the happy party time is not that, it's not as popular, but I might be wrong. My point is being that the characters in this different band has their own fans as well. You can also argue that they are more popular than Popping Party, because Popping Party is very basic. Basic is not it's not really a bad thing, you know. I'm just saying that they are pretty basic in term that it is easy to make a story of. That's why we in season 1 we focus on them first. But in season 2, the story is focused on everyone, so there is an issue of trying to balance everyone, and then try to insert a band scene every episode. But so far they have done well. I really like it. They start with Roselia and Popping Party having some kind of clash, because Roselia is the most senior of them all, and Popping Party is a very newbie, and the Yukina, the leader of Roselia, thinks that Popping Party is fooling around, and they are right, because because Kasumi does not really take things too seriously, and the main storyline of this season is that the Kasumi and Popping Party wants to improve themselves and make their own solo live show. This is the center plot line, but each episode usually focuses on other bands and their gimmicks and their other stories, minor stories. Their stories are not really that serious, but it gives these characters, these bands, exposure and their own episodes, and it is quite enjoyable. I mean, it is not as dramatic as season 1. It's a little bit of a fan service thing, you know. I think the goal of season 2 is actually to appeal to people who likes other bands, and to make sure that no one really gets left out. I'm pretty sure that people people who have played the game and see the scenarios that will not be so happy that their favorite bands are not really in the limelight, or when in their episodes it's not really focusing on the storyline that they really want. I can understand that, but from the perspective of someone who has only watched season 1 and did not really play the game much, I think it was tastefully done, even though it lacks dramatic gravitas of the season 1, or the a little angsty plot of season 1, but it makes do by being a more happy and happy-go-lucky and more cheerful kind of story. So that's why I'm gonna title this something like, this season is a little bit of a mixed bag for me, but at the same time I understand this approach. Do you want to make this story like season 1 all over again, or do you want to focus on only one single band and forgetting about other bands that other fans of other bands enjoy or favor? That's why I think the decision to make season 2 is pretty hard, and so far I'm gonna applaud the people who make this, that they are managed to do this well. The characters interactions are really good and really shows their personality, and even though the dialogues can be a little vanilla at times, and I think they could improve a bit on that, but there are many good scenes and many good scenes that leading up to a music scene that I really enjoyed, and I really enjoy every music scene, and I think it's a very enjoyable anime. And aside from the different episode showing different band, there is also another center plot revolving around a bunch of new characters trying to make their own band. And this approach is actually, I think, is pretty smart. While this is something that I really recommend for people who writes episodic anime. Have your own episodic stuff happens within that episode, but at the same time, make sure that there is a central plot line that is actually updated every episode or two. In this case, in Bandori season 2, that while each episode focuses on the different bands, at the same time it also develops on Popping Party trying to do their own solo life, and then this other group is trying to make their own band, and it was done well. It makes me really want to watch next episode and next episode. That's how you hook viewers. So in conclusion, do I think Bandori season 2 is good? Yes, I think it's really good, especially the music scene. I think the music scene is the seller. The 3D CG models are really good, but I understand if people don't really like this format, or if people want something more drama, But I still think it's good. And thanks for listening.